Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We have episode 6 of Bell's Corner. This one is going to be fire because we've seen Bells go to $1.80, go back down to 70 cents, and now back up to $1.16, $1.20, where we're at right now. It's been absolutely insane. But guys, this is crypto. This price action is why we're here. And it's just so funny. A lot of people get upset about price action or get too over the moon about it. You guys have to relax and chill and just know we are in the beginning of a potential 8-12 month bull run, guys. This is going to be absolutely glorious. This is just the beginning, and this is fun. This wakes me up in the morning, right? This checking my phone when I wake up, as soon as I wake up, to seeing where these last coins were before I went to bed and before I woke up, and that time is that 4 hours, because I don't think we sleep in a bull run. That 4 hours that I missed, the prices are nuts, and it's been glorious to see. But we got some updates from Adam. We got some really bullish stuff to go over, and we're gonna get into it right now. But before we do, I'm gonna bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? We've been both like really watching the price of Bellas. When it went to 70 cents, we you looked at each other and was like, it's time to dip some more into that. We're really bullish on Bells. But how are you feeling with it and all the craziness that has happened over the past week?
Yeah, so I did see first. I saw Bells dip below $1, and that's when I first kind of nudged you and said, "Hey, I think we need to add a little bit more, accumulate a little bit more towards our company, treasury or portfolio, whatever you want to call it." You're like, "Yeah, I'm on board." And then it kept dipping, and I was like, this is interesting. I wonder what's going on." Started looking on X timeline, and I don't want to get too deep into this because I hate drama, but there's obviously the typical FUD and stuff that happens within our space, toxicity and stuff. But then I was like, I want more, and then I was like, why do I want more? And I started to break it down, and there were some fundamentals in there, in terms of obviously the mimetic lore and the history with Billy Markets and Billy M2K on X and all that stuff with Doge. But more than that is the miner economy and community really supporting it and adding it into like this merge mining economy, right? And so because of that, I know it's going to be around, and because of that, I know that there's going to be people that support it, including miners. And so that's why I said I want more.
Yeah, and from my side, like this isn't your normal Solana meme coin, right? This is a chain that is attached with it, a chain that potentially is going to add OpCat early next year. I mean, this could be a Bitcoin layer too. This could be so much more than that. You could see some really big innovations happening on a fun meme chain, right? I don't know. It just has everything that clicks for me, and that is kind of why we even started this. I want to say going on almost 10 weeks ago at this point.
Yep. And of course, none of this is financial advice, but it's just telling facts of what is, the reasoning and I guess like for why you and I are kind of separately, but both have the same mentality towards Bell's chain, its ecosystem, and stuff like that. But we'll get into that deeper as we get Adam up.
I'm excited. Let's bring Adam McBride. Adam, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
Bro, there's nothing better than coming on a green candle day, bro.
Right?
Green candles make everybody smile, dude. It's literally, at the end of the day, it's the only thing people care about is number go up technology. You can do all the innovation, all the OpCats, if number doesn't go up, people literally don't care. And we were joking before the show, these past week or so, I was getting DMs from people, literally like page-long DMs about why price down. And it's like, dude, market conditions, but it's nice that we've finally, seems like maybe turned a little bit of a corner here. We had a couple of nice, posts from people, a YouTube video that popped a little bit. And so people are once again bullish on Bells, which, you guys were telling me, earlier in the week, hey man, we're picking up more bags here in the whatever 70-cent range, 80-cent range. I think people who believe in what the community is doing with Bell's coin, all the FUD in the world can't stop that bullishness. And to your point, Yago, about the miners, like this is just a core belief, right? Is the core belief is that miners actually control price with these blockchains, and early blockchains like this, where miners still have large bags, they completely control price. And will they, when the miner rewards get compressed down to under 4,000 per bell, which is going to happen in May of 2025? What's going to happen? What are they going to do with their bags at that time? And there may be some interesting price action that takes place. So that's what we're paying.
Yep.
Definitely. And to your point about the miners, the reason why I really dug deep into that was because, one of Ordinal Revolution's partners in the East and in the Chinese market for media for Bitcoin, a big part of their business is kind of distributing these miners to their community, right? And so they're really big on the Bitcoin side of things, and they recently pivoted, and I'm going to share my screen here to selling these L9 miners, and during our weekly meeting, they broke it down for us, and we were super excited, and they were just showing us what the distribution looks like in terms of these merge miners being able to mine Litecoin, Bells, and Doge. And this just kind of builds on top of that thought process that I have, that hey, look, the miner community is now considering Bells a part of their miner economy, and so this isn't going anywhere, right? If anything, it's gonna just give more foundation to it, and so that got me really bullish on it as well, right? Like for them, that has a solid business for Bitcoin miners to say, hey, the other miners as well, our competition, are pivoting towards this in the East. This is a matter of time before it gets extremely, extremely popular, just globally, West and East.
Yeah. So the L9's made by Bitmain, and I've said on many shows, and I've talked about it with you guys too. Like, Bitmain is the largest mining manufacturer in the world, right? They saw Bells immediately in January of last year. They contacted some of us in the community, and we're like, hey, let's start a conversation, basically. I think they initially saw, hey, these are great tokenomics for us. But like I say, the miners and the miner manufacturers, who's basically Bitmain, these are the smartest players in the game. Like they run crypto. Like, don't fool yourself. They run it. They run Bitcoin. And so, I think they see the tokenomics. They understand, more and deeper than you or I do, how this stuff works. And Bitmain obviously was like, look, this is going to allow us to sell a lot of miners, a lot, because it adds this extra. Bells just adds another revenue stream onto this miner. So they obviously worked with us closely. They connected us with miners and stuff. And it's like, this is the foundation of crypto. It's shared alignment for a community and a project. And that's what it is with the miners and with, Bitmain and the L9 miner. And I know for certain that Bells has sold a whole lot of those L9 miners.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they are. They're not cheap, but
He said that their community's mentality is they're attracted to the merge mining because something like Bells and Litecoin and Doge has more opportunity for, I guess, like kind of a catch up in X's versus what Bitcoin, the growth for the next 12 months. They look at this as the big opportunity.
Like if you're spending $100,000 on L9s versus $100,000 on ASICs, like the L9s are winning all day long right now, as far as I know. I mean, I'm not super detailed on it, but they're a huge winner right now.
It reminds me a little bit of that opportunity that lasted for a while with the Ethereum mining community, right? Like that was going strong until it switched to proof of stake, right? So where was that secondary market to replace it? I think Caspa kind of came in and took a little bit of that, but the merge mining is attractive because it's a triple get with that, right? So
and you see it, like Litecoin's going up. The last 2 weeks, Litecoin's been popping. So those machines are just printing, right? And then obviously we've had the huge Doge run, right? Which has been unbelievable. And then you have like the sleeper, Bell's still at, I don't even know what it is, $50-60 million market cap, where it can go, it could go exponential at any time. It doesn't like it. Literally, I've had people tell me, I don't do I don't trade. I've never sold any bells. Right? I'm like, I'm looking at this. Just kick the can down the road. As far as I'm not trading it, right? But people who tell me about it are like, oh my God, they just realize that it could be, if somebody came in with like $1 million buy order right now on bells, it would pump the price to like $5.
Which is crazy to me. But Shizzy,
so,
I was wondering what your opinion too about that. What I said about the Ethereum, that market was gone, for the proof of works of mining, which I know it was really strong. Actually, they were all sad, and then Caspa kind of came in. Do you think this kind of gets back to where that interest was with the secondary mining market?
Yeah, well, a lot of those big miners, they went into Doge, right? Like pretty much after
right away.
Casper was an option, but I think Doge, and like when we're talking to Media Blockchain, our partners, BTV, they basically told us people want Doge, and they're getting bells and Litecoin, for free, right? Because it's just kind of like, and Doge. You got to remember, we have a Doge department in our government, like.
The upside potential for Doge, even though, like, look, I mean, it's like how many a million new Doge every day, which you would figure that's sell pressure. I mean, how is it Doge is at the price it is?
I know.
The thing is,
and
bro,
the supply.
I know the supply, and it's huge, and all this sort of stuff.
It's demand.
But the
that's
awareness, like we are in an attention economy. I could talk to my mom. She's heard of Doge. She hasn't heard of Dogecoin.
Not yet.
Yet, but she darn well knows what Doge is, and and so basically everybody on Earth has heard of it. So
my mom's like in her 70s, and she actually dabbles in this a little bit, but like her knowledge is very limited. But she was like, I want Doge. Like last week, and I was like, why? And she goes, Elon Musk. And that's what I'm saying. Like that's starting to be a thing to where even like, how they would say your grandma knows what Bitcoin is. Soon your grandma, if she watches TV at all, is going to correlate Elon Musk with Doge like my mom did, right? So it's definitely becoming more and more of a staple in terms of our industry.
I think to a degree, like Doge is actually, it's actually a perfect example of the way miners control price to a degree. Right. I mean, you just imagine what other coin where you could have 1 million new coins coming on the market every day. How does that maintain any price at all? Right.
Yeah.
There's discipline amongst those miners. They're not just dumping these straight back into the market. They're holding for spikes in price to sell in to, bullish news and stuff like that. And so, I think, the general feeling I get from people who know way better than I is that they expect bells to take a similar trajectory. It's just a question of we have to get bells known. And that's a whole different, that's like in a decentralized community, which we have, it's just a different ballgame. Like, there's no community pool to pay millions of dollars for KOLs or this sort of thing. It's all kind of bootstrapped. And so in that way, I think it actually builds a stronger community, because guys can get in at 70 cents, right? It's not a bunch of KOLs who are dumping on you and stuff. It's actually only the miners. The miners are the only ones dumping anything, right? And so there's actually like this kind of slower ramp of accumulation where we can get real people involved in bells and build this kind of like Bell's army, right? Which is the dream of any kind of blockchain or crypto project, where you have a core of 1,000 dudes who are fully vested in this, and then you win. You can't not win at that point.
Yeah, and it's 100% dudes.
We had our first one was and maybe I didn't tell you guys, because this was since the last show. We had Miss Teen Crypto. She's like out of Miami. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah, I know
her. YouTuber and so on and so forth. I've met her before at some show or whatever. But at Bitcoin Nashville, we were giving out the bells hats, and she was on a show and had her bells hat on and doing this dance stuff. And people found it in the Discord and started, bombing her on her live stream and stuff. And so she was the first female in the bells Discord. That was pretty cool. Actually, she was talking about bells quite a bit. So that was fun too. That was one of the
100%. Yeah, that was really cool. I seen that exactly what you're talking about. I've been following Miss Team Crypto for a while. She was like one of the first ones to blow up on TikTok.
Yeah.
When I was, back in the last cycle, I was looking for stuff to like more. I was addicted to crypto, like anything crypto media, and she was one of the channels I'd watch. She was mainly for the level 1 crypto user at that
Totally.
time.
Yeah,
To,
it's an intro,
like
which is great.
exchange user. Yeah.
That's what
So,
actually that's actually what Bells needs to a large degree. It's more
yeah.
just a broad space awareness. Actually, I sent you the link to a couple guys are one guy I know in the Bells community. He's actually a great guy, and he owns a bunch of Tesla Cybertrucks, and
Oh, wow.
and I think he might rent them out, kind of lease them and stuff like this, and lease them. There's this service in the U.S. where you can like rent your car. You basically become a car rental agency, right? And so he has a bunch of cars, and he bought a new Cybertruck, and they were going to drive it. He got delivery, I think, in like L.A., right? But was driving it to Florida where he lives, and bought a bunch of like stickers and stuff, and so it's like a Bells Coin Cybertruck, which is pretty cool. So there's going to be Bells across America over like the next week. We're going to be tracking that too. So there's a lot.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But
that's like all community. That's not like there's nobody paid him to do that. He was like, let me go buy some.
Yeah.
Magnets
I think that's like the fine line that like you don't want to necessarily cross if it's a decentralized project like something like Bells, to where it's its own chain. There's no centralized like entity that really can make or break it. I mean, it's all community, but then like you can raise funds through the community, or all the community works together for it. But I agree, you don't. There's a big responsibility for the community on where they go with that. And I think just paying some like shill or something to say something good about it, it defeats the purpose of like how everybody truly feels about it. If they really feel like there's going to be building here, like the Nintendo wallet is actually starting to be highly sought after with the other ecosystems, right? You don't want to kind of cheapen that.
I agree. I mean, some of the stuff is needed, unfortunately, like the exchange listings, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about that. We finally got on Gate. It finally happened. I think that when we talked last time, there was like a full relaunch or whatever, which was brutal. I mean, literally the negativity that sprung up around that was really tough, because it's like, dude, either you're going to list this or you're not. It was a mistake by them or whoever, somebody on their team mistakenly, put out the Bells Coin page on their website. And so it was like, I mean, to be honest, like the Gate listing was like a dud, right? It's like it happened. I went on a space, but we had been dealing with the negative ramifications of like the fake launch for like 2 weeks. And so it didn't move kind of the needle at all, I don't think. But it now provides that like place where people can go and buy it easily, and that's a big deal.
Yeah,
100%. It really pulled the rug out from the momentum. The momentum was large. We hit $1.80, and then that happened, right? And then the momentum really fell. And like there's a lot of momentum traders out there, especially the East. The East are some of the biggest momentum traders. When the momentum stops, the price action just dies. And you saw that exactly what happened with Bells after that Gate.io mishap.
Yep. I agree. But one thing I do also agree with is it's Gate, as much as like, people can say good or bad things about them. I think they are an established brand in the space, right? So they bring that recognition with that, along with Mexi. I feel like they're kind of similarly tiered there. But Hotcoin seems to be like one that's bringing in a lot of volume. But Gate, I've seen it as high as $1 million a day, right? I think that the past 24 hours you're looking at about $700,000 in total volume. So people are trading it there, and I guess the objective is starting to kind of be more clear on why Gate was brought on, I guess, or Bells was brought on the Gate. Do you feel like it's going to be like a solid onboarding centralized exchange for Bells?
I think it absolutely. Like, I think it's it was the one that was, the community was generally, that was the one they wanted to pay for, basically.
Gotcha.
I won't go into the full details, but it was a lengthy negotiation. It was not It was not fast, and it was just be clear, it was painful, man. It was a painful negotiation. But we finally got it done at a price that, you know, our community was willing to pay. You know, a little bit jaded, not necessarily against Gate, a little bit jaded, honestly, against the whole kind of crypto way it happens. Just as a little bit of an eye opener for me, and a little bit of a bummer. Not only on the exchange side, and I'm not saying Gate specifically, I'm just saying exchanges. Like, I've talked to 30 exchanges, right? It's just generally, you know, exchanges you've never heard of are like, you know, hitting me up to get on them, and it's $100,000 and or 3% of your token supply. You know, it's just crazy stuff. But then at the same time, like hardware wallets, which for me, hardware wallets are like a core staple foundation of crypto, where these guys should have like should just be about like, you're providing this service,
Yeah.
you're trustworthy. This is like the foundation of crypto, bro. It's completely pay to play.
Wow.
That was stunning to me.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, you're telling me, I'm not going to name names, but I mean, I have these, right?
Yeah.
And you're telling me to get my token on you is $25,000? What the really?
Yeah.
And you realize that it's all pay to play, and that was stunning to me.
Yeah.
That was an eye opener for sure.
Do you not believe that the kind of mining community and stuff would naturally push those hardware wallets to bring it on anyways, or do you feel like they will be stubborn to the point to where they're like, no,
Well, they have, you know, we do have miners who've basically put us in contact with, you know, some of these, and we're still in negotiations with a couple to try and move forward without these kind of payments. But generally, no. At the end of the day, I mean, yes, they are connected to them, but at the end of the day, this is the way these companies, I guess, make their revenue. It's not necessarily on selling a bunch of hardware wallets. It's in taking fees from people to get listed on the wallets.
Yeah.
So basically, they're like exchanges, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, that blew my mind. I did not, you know, I had not heard about that in crypto. That didn't make sense to me. But
that's pretty crazy. And for the audience, you know, because you mentioned, you know, that you got set up with, you know, the miners kind of connected you guys with some of these hardware wallets. So when someone in the audience is listening to that, they're kind of like, okay, so is this like the Bells team? But I think the audience kind of needs to understand, like, even with like in Bitcoin in the very beginning, like new centralized exchanges needed to know like how to connect things and how to get things onboarded and stuff like that. How would you explain like this I guess like team that helps assist with that? Like,
how do you describe a decentralized team, right? A team
that's what I'm basically, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a clear picture for someone that's listening in right now.
What I would say is what's formed kind of organically. It's not like Adam said, hey, we're going to do this. What's kind of formed is like a group of people that started in a Discord, and it kind of coalesced around a group of, you know, 20-ish or so people who became like trusted. And they're kind of layers of that, right? So like Luke and I trust Luke completely, right? So there's like Luke and, you know, a couple of the core devs and one or two maybe people who are more on the kind of social area of Bells Coin, who I would say are like the core most trusted, where if I tell them something, I know for 100% it's not going to show up somewhere else, right? So there's that core. But the reality is, and that's maybe where the negotiation with most exchanges finalized, but some of the exchanges, the beginning part was actually somebody else in the community was like, hey, I have a friend at Gate and I've already talked to him, and could I introduce, you know, and we kind of just, and that's the way it's kind of flowed. Or like I tell people, like literally, if you want to go out and try to negotiate a hardware wallet, I'll support it 100%. Like, I don't need to be involved in this conversation at all. You know what I mean? So the Bells Coin community can actually do what they want, which in the reality is it makes it a little bit, I would say a lot more complicated than if it was, I don't know, Solana or even Ethereum with a foundation, where the foundation is doing these kind of negotiations where a foundation is a CEO and a blah blah blah, and they just kind of go forward. This is like, getting stuff done by consensus. I mean, the reality is we're in groups on Telegram and stuff where there's back and forth negotiations. Should we do this? Should we pay for KOLs? Oh, no, we're not using community funds to pay for KOLs. Okay, well, I want to do KOLs. Well, I can't stop you. Go do KOLs. And so it's, I put it this way: I have influence, but I don't control stuff, right? It's like if people want to do what they want to do, they're going to do it, and so in that way, there are good and bad aspects of it. It certainly makes it harder to deal with like centralized entities like exchanges, makes it much more difficult. But in the end, we've gotten it done. And actually it's been kind of helpful when it comes to, and I think will be helpful when it comes to actually getting listed on like T1 exchanges, because we are actually, there's no like entity to deal with. They can just list it and be safe from their perspective from a regulatory standpoint. They don't have to worry about it being like a cabal KOL controlled coin, something like that.
It's kind of like how the Bitcoin Foundation is, right? They're there to help Bitcoin. They're there to make sure everything's good. If there's an upgrade that needs to happen, that's what they're there for. But they can't control someone like Casey Rottenberg for coming and creating an ordinal protocol, right? They can't stop people from using Bitcoin in bad ways. They're just there to make sure that the core foundation of Bitcoin is there and is needed, and there's people working on it day to day, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right, man. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not that ossified, thankfully.
Yeah.
Not being that ossified has allowed us to move relatively quickly, especially with like merge mining and stuff and getting that done. But yes, in the same way that is much more decentralized than it was a year ago, it's getting more and more layers of decentralization as we kind of move forward. And you see it. I mean, look, you see it on the timeline. Like, to Yago's point, I mean, there's some battling back and forth with other, old tokens or whatever on the timeline. And I'm like, guys, I don't believe that this is the best strategy. Like the full on attack mode, I don't believe that it's the best strategy. And I've expressed that to people, but it doesn't matter what I can say that, but guess what? They think the best strategy is attack, and it is what it is.
Well,
man.
I kind of want to get into that before we can get to something like this, we have to go through something like this, right? And so we do know that the gate kind of took the momentum. We do know that the Lucky coin really was hyped up and pumped. We know that there was guys like Danny Plainview, like bigger names around the space that are building here. They were really pumping their bags with Lucky coin. Could you kind of explain a little bit, if you want to, kind of what happened with that situation?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's all kind of fighting for this, fighting to be tied to Dogecoin. Let's put it that way. Right. We all want our horse or our cart hooked onto Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin is it. Like it's like being hooked onto Bitcoin. Like everybody wants an L2 on Bitcoin, because if you get that, like you're just going to be dragged by nature, just by momentum. And so everybody wants to hook into Dogecoin. Clearly, Bell's coin. I mean, there's nobody contests that it's made by the same founder as Dogecoin. Bell's coin is made by Billy Marcus, the founder of Dogecoin. Lucky coin is a part of that, no question. And nobody in our community has ever questioned that. Billy himself has said Bell's was a fork of Lucky coin. Period. Full stop. The thing is that Lucky coin was like, oh, actually, Doge was a fork of Lucky coin. And it's simply not true. It's not true, because we know the person who did the actual development work for Dogecoin is Billy. And he said it literally 50 times. He said it in videos. He said it on Twitter. It's been in news articles. He said it all over the place for years, not just since we relaunched, Bell's coin. He said it for years. So, but on Wikipedia and on the Dogecoin website, it had said Lucky coin for years now. It had said Lucky coin, and Doge was a fork of Lucky coin. The reason it had said that is because the other co-founder of Dogecoin, Jackson Palmer, had said it in there's like a YouTube video of him like being like, oh, Doge was a fork of Lucky. Well, if you've ever worked with developers, you might not know the technical details, right? He just didn't know. He just said it, but he didn't know what the actual history of it was. And anyway, that wrong history had lived until like whatever 2 months ago when Lucky decided that this was going to be our point of attack against
Yeah.
was to discount the true history of what it was forked from and claimed that actually Doge is a fork of Lucky Coin. It's simply not true. It's not true. And they were pointing to that on the Doge website as like fact. And bro, I mean, they were pointing to the Doge in the wiki. And I was like, bro, Wikipedia, that's like the most, if you're quoting Wikipedia as fact, like it's just not what it is.
Yeah. Anybody can edit that.
Anybody can. And so at the end of the day, what ended up happening was people from the Bells community, and again, this is one of those things, like this wasn't what I would have done, but they basically went into GitHub and basically started bombing the Dogecoin people and Dogecoin developers in GitHub and being like, you need to change this website because this website's wrong. Here's the 50 pieces of proof, including the Genesis block, Nintendo, the Merkle root. So here's the on-chain data that it's wrong. And then here's the developer himself in 50 points of context saying it's wrong. You need to change this to Bells. Anyway, what they ended up doing, because the Doge guys are like, we hate all of you guys, right? We don't want Dogecoin. These are the guys who are like, Doge is money. I don't want any part of your shit coin. They literally call other coins shit coin, which is like
oh my god,
all time, bro.
That's funny.
And so at the end of the day, what they decided to do, the Doge developers, is just remove all mention. So there's no mention of Lucky, there's no mention of Bells, there's no mention of anything. Just clean slate it, and that's it. Whatever, the reality is the reality. Billy made Bells coin. 8 days later, he made Dogecoin. He literally used the codes from Bells and made Doge. And that's the end of it. I mean, Lucky can still be like, oh no, but look at the Wikipedia from 1942. Dude, get the fuck out of here, bro.
I mean,
get out of here.
Just check the Genesis. Just check the Genesis block, right? It says Nintendo.
I know.
Like,
but that's not proof. That could have just been. It's like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
it's not in Lucky, right? Lucky's Genesis block doesn't say Nintendo, right? So.
No, but they'll get into that. Well, technically, that's not what a fork is. Technically, look at the, they've literally pointed out, well, look, there's Lucky code in Dogecoin. It's like, duh, of course there is. He forked Lucky to make Bells. Like, see, that's the thing. We're not discounting Lucky's place in the chain. We are saying Bells was a fork of Lucky coin. That happened, and then Doge was a fork of Bells.
They're just basically trying to exclude Bells out of the whole thing, which you can't do it if you look at the history. Plus, I've actually followed Billy Marcus, and like he was like, "This is the final time I'm going to say it." He goes, "I hate all of you." He goes, "But I forked Doge from my Bells code," and then someone was like, "Oh, but Bells was forked from Lucky," and he goes, "I never said it wasn't." He goes, "I hate you all." And he was like, "This is the last time I'm going to say it, or I'm going to block all of you." Yeah. So, like, I mean, he made that comment, and I mean, this is probably a message to both communities. Probably just leave Billy alone for a good minute. Let him live his life, right?
I mean, look, my view on it. And this was I tried to express this to the community when this first popped up. I was like, this is not good for Lucky or Bells. Like, it may pump Lucky short term, right? And those guys got a pump. They use KOLs. Awesome, right? Good for you. But the reality is this is bad for both of us, period. This is bad for both. Because nobody wants to join into a toxic community of people battling about the stupidest shit. Nobody cares, dude.
I agree.
No normies give a shit about this, right? They care that Billy created both of these. Like that's cool, right? But the nitpicking back and forth is not good for us long term, and we have to get past it. That's my view. But a lot of people in the community were like, "You're wrong. This is battle zone. Let's go, let's fight." And so they did. And to their credit, they did get it removed from the Doge website, and I'm sure they'll get it removed from Wikipedia eventually. but yeah, that's kind of how it went down. But those guys, I mean, I still see whatever people were pinging me. Do you see what Danny or whatever his name is said
I
on
don't
the,
pay attention. I don't pay attention to his
he
posts.
said on the whatever he paid for a Mario space or whatever.
Yeah.
And like he's continuing the same line and
I mean, well, he has bigger things to worry about, like OpNet, which I don't know if that's ever going to get done, MotoSwap, all that stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's going to be these people that like strategically FUD, and they do a good job at it. I mean, that's their profession, is to FUD, buy cheap. I guarantee he's bought bells cheap. He probably, did.
Oh, no, dude, that dude was like literally
mining it in the beginning, right?
First day bells coin. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he had the first pool set up. I mean, people have studied it and said, look how much he dumped,
Yeah. But it is what it is. It'll survive.
It is what it is. I mean, he learned the playbook from bells and then was like, oh, let me do lucky and I'll trim the chain, take away all the big bag holders and kind of I mean, that was the thing, one of our community members put out this huge thread just showing how he basically, him and whoever is in his team, they 51% attacked Lucky Coin. And, this is what we talk about. Like, what is it? What is a 51% attack? A 51% attack allows you to reset the chain to an earlier date. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. And they took away I think it was 1.1 million blocks of Lucky Coin. Basically taking away anybody who'd mined the coin in the last, 5 years or something like that. That's the kind of person you're dealing with, I have nothing against Lucky Coin and it has its place in history, but you know who you're dealing with if that's the dude you're following.
For sure. Well, let's get into go ahead.
Well, real quick though, if anybody ever pays for Mario, I'm out on it, right? Like if you paid 40, 80,000, if Bells was on Mario show, I'd sell mine.
Dude, I literally right away. I brought that up. Let's pay for a Mario space. I'm like, I'm not paying. You gotta be fucking crazy, dude. Like
that's 40K or something like that. I think I heard
4,000 bots.
You gotta be crazy.
Exactly.
Literally, I mean, but look, there's nothing preventing somebody in our community from going and doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's decentralized in that aspect. Yeah.
Well, Bells community, if you guys do that, I'm out.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All my 1,000 bells, man.
Yeah, exactly. But let's move on to something that's more, in my opinion, interesting than like drama, because that happens a lot in our space and too much probably. So let's talk about some of these, advancements or forward movements with the Bells chain itself. So OpCat was something that was in testnet for a while. When do you think that would be something, or still in testnet? Okay. When do you think that would be added to mainnet?
Hoping for January. I think January is going to be the month.
Yeah. Gotcha. Do you guys have any plans? Not you guys, I guess, but some of maybe the core contributors and developers in the ecosystem to build any type of trust minimized bridges or anything like that to possibly test out for like Fractal or any other chain or ecosystem? Because I was talking to Shizzy and I was like, that's what the UTXO ecosystem needs right now. It needs infrastructure. Yeah. So what do you think?
The promise is that I'm going to be able to, take my Cat 20s off Fractal, come to Bells Coin, trade them trustlessly. That's the promise, right? And I've talked to a bunch of teams about stuff like this. I just think it has to we have to see it. I really feel I have to see it. Obviously talk to like Ordinal Wallet guys and script guys and just some of the other, teams. And I think, when it launches on Bells, it's show me time.
Yeah.
Right? It's show me time between Fractal and Bells. Show me what's possible so that we get a taste of what's possible once it launches on Bitcoin. Right.
Yeah. Let's see. I agree. But the bigger than that, I think what it could do is create some cohesive momentum, because if you look at the EVM ecosystem, which is really robust, you can go all the way from like even something that like these Bitcoin layer 2s that are EVM all the way from there all the way to anything like Avalanche or anything like that that has a Solidity language, right? So what this could do is really start to unite the UTXO chains with a universal language like S-script, because let's be honest, S-script was created in 2018, but there's no momentum there, in my opinion. And I could be wrong.
No,
I don't get into the BSV or the Bitcoin Cash and all that stuff. But like what could happen is, Bell's coin could start to adopt the S-script, now Fractal, and Bell's has it. Who's next? That kind of thing, to where now liquidity can be shuffled around, to each chain. Do you see a possible future like that? If it's possible on Bell's?
No, that is, I mean, that's the big question, right? And what Udi's been pushing the whole, for a year now, this is like the grand vision. And I think, when Bell's launches it, it's going to be this, like, is it going to happen between Bell and Fractal? Like, is there going to be something here? And if there is, then it gets super bullish. Like, and it doesn't necessarily mean full adoption or crazy, like, adoption into the Bitcoin space. But if people in Bell's community can use it, and people in the Fractal community are using it, and it works like a trustless bridge, I think that's incredibly bullish, because then once it goes live on Bitcoin, then there's just going to be this mad push to do it. Because, if you can trustlessly trade, tokens between Bitcoin and Bell's coin, or Bitcoin and Fractal, then it gets extremely exciting, right? And so, but I think it's got to happen between Bell's and Fractal. Like, there has to be some movement there, or I'm calling BS on the whole OpCat thing, right? It's like, it's got to work. If it doesn't work there, between two fast chains, it's never going to work on Bitcoin. And I'll tell Udi that right from the get-go, man. Right? Like, if these devs can't build something that people can use and it really works and it's trustless, it's like the devs telling me this is great and it's working, then I think, maybe I'm
well, they're going to say, OpCap, we need this one as well. We need this opcode. We need this opcode. I remember in episode 1, you did say, you're open to every opcode.
Yeah.
You said, come on, let's do this. Is there any opcodes that are being considered after OpCat?
Yeah, there's the one called OP, what's it, OP Groth? I think, which is like, it's called Groth, but it's the ZK Sync one.
That would be big.
So, but people say, "Oh, it's going to be big." Really? I'm much more of the, like, show me, bro. Like, I hear DKs are great, but I want to see people using it, right? So yeah, I think that one, that might actually be going live same time as OpCat. But yeah, man,
is that on testnet?
Yeah, it's on testnet right now.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought it was only the OpCat.
No,
only
they're
OpCat.
both there. So, like, yeah, I mean,
so that's where I think that's
I'm
where you
very bullish in a kind of like show me way. But yeah,
so I think that's what could really add. I think look, I'm not a dev. I'm just going based off of what some of the information and data that I've seen and try to process myself. The UTXO stacks, tech stacks versus like the EVM are just not the same, because like EVM is obviously virtual machine. So like what that ZK opcode could do, the zero knowledge stuff is really add, even if you have OpCat, because OpCat can bring some computational ability, but it's not going to be like an EVM. But what would happen is, like, that would actually allow these scalable tools to add more computation to Bells, to Fractal Bitcoin, to this thing. So kind of utilizing like a tool like Bitcoin OS, or those type of products that are being created right now. So I mean, we'll see.
I'm hopeful, man. We're gonna see some January, man. I'm hearing, the devs are giving me a lot of bullish news, but it's like,
could you talk about Nintendo's team though? Because it seems like a lot of people are wanting their services. Could you tell us why?
The reason why is because Yar. Yar's the core dev. He's the lead dev for Bell's Coin, and he's also the lead of Nintendo. And much like actually Shannon with Emblem Vault, there aren't many developers who are on the highest level. and YAR is. And so you see it with, the merge mining with Bells, how smooth that went, seamless perfection. Like, that's not easy to do, right? So that's not only is he like creatively maybe a genius, but he's also able to manage teams which can produce code of really high quality, right? And you guys have probably heard, I know from using it, the Nintendo wallet is one of the best Web3 wallets. Like, it is an amazing piece of tech. And, so him doing that and being able to build something like that is just for Bells, it's super bullish. But I think, I think they've announced it. Yeah, I'm going to, if they haven't, I'll announce it here. But I don't know if they've announced, I think they've announced it publicly, so I'm okay sharing it. But they're going to be integrating Doge into the.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They announced that? Okay, yeah, I thought I might have, yeah. So for them, it's very bullish. I think, Doge does have an okay wallet. But, bringing, I think, the best in class wallet to Doge could be really nice for Nintendo as well. And that will allow, once their indexer's live, pretty great user experience, which is important.
Yeah.
And obviously with Doginals kind of picking up a little bit of steam here, maybe the Nintendo team might be, well set to take advantage of that. I mean, especially with all the stuff happening on Dogecoin. Maybe some of that will trickle down to my Doginal bag and stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
We would absolutely love to get somebody from the Nintendo team on a Bell's Corner episode with you. I think that would be really fun. If there's, open invitation to anyone building on Bells to come join us on the next episode and going forward.
Cool,
I think that would be really good to kind of start introducing the builders to the community.
For sure, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there any other updates with Bell's chain or anything that the community would be excited about?
It's the 1 year anniversary of the relaunch.
Oh,
not today. So that's pretty crazy. We did have the 11th anniversary of the actual launch date, the day of the Genesis block. That was last week. And actually, so today is, I know they fall on the same day because today is the birthday of Dogecoin's birthday.
Wow.
And I always remember because that was the day that I got pinged. Hey, man, you've seen this old tweet from Billy where he mentions Bells. And this is when I went down the rabbit hole. And, Luke got the chain back up and running later that day. So today's a big day, man.
Awesome. And today is December 6th, 2024. This video will be out on the 8th. So it is 12/6/2024, which is 12/6, which is Doge's birthday.
Doge's birthday, man. That's cool. It's awesome, dude. Awesome.
That's awesome.
And if you saw, I put it in the I DM'd you beforehand, but we got a couple. Litecoin has been really fun. Have you guys been following the Litecoin account over the last couple of weeks?
A little bit.
I followed it. I haven't seen much. Yeah.
They obviously hired either a new marketing person or a team. They got the Litecoin intern over there, man. Awesome, dude. You should follow that account. It's like one of the best accounts.
Yeah. Is it still killing it? Because I know in the beginning it was doing a lot of numbers. Yeah.
I mean, not as much as that initial hype, where it was like, I now identify as a meme coin was amazing. Maybe tweet of the year is amazing tweet. Perfect tweet. And so they're leaning into obviously script mining. They've done a bunch of posts where they're, talking about Bells coin and graphics with Bells and stuff. So they've been awesome. They are awesome. And to your point about the merge mining and, how the script ecosystem is this kind of like really awesome for miners. And so, in my view, awesome for holders too. But Litecoin's on a nice little run.
Yeah. Well, it seems like everything's going to be. I mean, we're officially in a bull run, right? Well, there's no denying it, right? At this point, we see it from all aspects, every place. Whether that's people telling their family during Thanksgiving, the biggest onboarding day ever, which is Thanksgiving, to something we're about to enter another one, which is Christmas. And I think everyone needs to start gearing up because the bull run's here and it's not slowing down. It's only getting faster. So
it's funny. I mean, see whatever XRP pop. Which is hilarious, right? And you just like, I think I put out a tweet. I was like, who has an XCP wallet, man? Or whatever, XRP wallet. Like, who's got one of those, really? And then meme coins are popping on Ripple. I'm like, bro, They are not popping. No way. I'm not being psyoped into putting money on Ripple, bro. Sorry, not happening.
Yeah, I almost thought about doing it, and then I was like, no, I'm not supporting Brad Garlinghouse. I'm not supporting
No
his
way.
$75 million salary when Ripple has zero income.
No way.
Like,
Yeah.
where's that
Well,
money come from?
So I actually had a Zum wallet in
Did you?
2020.
Okay, what's
Yeah,
it called? What
I think it used to be Zum or Zoom, maybe it's Z or XUMM. They rebranded, but I downloaded it in 2022, and the XRPL has been around actually. That ledger, they had tokens on there, fungible tokens, but they just really never built up any momentum because, like, people don't think about XRP like that, right? Especially back then, but now I think because they've been running up and stuff, that's why there's like with the Solana momentum that people are just trying to find the next hot thing.
Totally, man. Totally. I don't know. It's your who? Oh, Jake. Yeah, that was the thing. Jake's dad had said. I don't know if you saw that tweet from Jake, where his dad had sent him a DM.
Oh yeah,
Have
he
you
asked
ever
him
heard
about
of
it.
this Ripple thing or whatever.
Yeah, that's funny.
That was literally the day before it pumped. I was like, Jake, you didn't buy a little right then? It like 4x'd in 2 days from there. It was like the dad called it, man.
Yeah, that, I mean,
You
seriously,
gotta pay attention to
when
that. If your dad shoots you a DM about a token, you need to immediately buy it.
all you have to do is watch CNBC because that's where the dad gets all the news, right? You watch CNBC, you hear one of the analysts say, "Oh, this XRP thing," and then they're just like, "Oh, let me ask. I know my son's in that Bitcoin thing. See if he knows anything about it."
Totally.
So.
But I mean, the bull run is definitely on. I mean, you saw Trump's nominee for SEC chair is incredibly.
Yeah, that's
incredibly
huge.
bullish,
How did you feel about David Sachs being the czar? Because I had mixed feelings about it. My one feeling was awesome, like he's Solana guy, but he's only a Solana guy because he owns multi-coin capital. So or he's an investor in that. So and then he's never did a swap on chain. He doesn't understand decentralization and why it's important. He's a very centralized guy. He has all his money in banks and and stocks and businesses that are pre-public. But how do you feel about David Sachs actually being the crypto czar?
I feel like we don't need czars. I feel like we don't need regulations around it, right? So I'm not super bullish about that. I do agree with a lot of what David says. I'm a big fan of that show, and my thoughts generally align with his. Will that alignment mean he's gonna milk it to whatever his bags are? Probably. So, maybe not the worst thing in the world to hold a little soul. So, but look, everybody works from bag bias, 100% of people.
Yeah.
But directionally, do I think this, administration's moving directionally in the right way, which is less government, less regulation, less. I honestly can't believe we're here. It's magical.
Yeah.
I feel.
I mean, I still don't know if a node monkey is a security or not. Like, I still have no idea if a crypto punk is a security or not. I mean, that's still where we're at. But we need to get to a better place.
I think those will be cleared up. Those things will be cleared up. And my thing about David Sachs is I think that he has wanted this kind of, not position, but like, I guess like way things are going with like this administration. I don't think he's gonna break off from that and just like because let's think about it, like JD Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, RFK, they all are Bitcoiners, and they have and Elon Musk, right? They all have interest in some of these different things. So I don't think he's gonna be like all these things are shut off. We only want VC stuff. No, because like a lot of those other people are fundamentalists in this, and I think he's gonna go along with that at the same time, pumping his bags.
For sure. I mean, I'd rather have somebody like him than somebody who's like a Bitcoin maxi or something like that, right?
Or even like
Jack Dorsey would have been terrible.
Yeah. Or even like someone that just has a lot of vested interest in one chain only, like a Brad Garlinghouse or anything.
Banker, right? At least it's not like some guy from Goldman Sachs.
Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon.
Disaster.
God help us, man. Yeah, exactly.
Well, this has been absolutely amazing, Adam. Can't wait to do it again in 2 weeks. But I'd love to give you the floor, man. Kind of speak one last time about anything you want, dude. The floor is yours.
Anything I want. Well,
you can say anything.
This is probably foolishness on Bell's Coin. I'm actually really excited about what's happened. I mean, I think we were talking about. I was on a couple things earlier in the week where we were talking about, like, you know, we've kind of moved from ordinals. You know, ordinals was the first thing, kind of this new cycle that really popped, created Bitcoin season 2 has been, obviously you guys have the show around it, right? This is like the core thing that's happened that's changed crypto this cycle. And then we moved into meme coins, right? I brought back a meme coin, and meme coins have exploded. Meme coins have been the thing. But I'm really feeling like the thing that actually is going to be the remembered part of this cycle is the AI agents. I think that's really the thing, because it's bigger than crypto. It's actually like this utility thing that people in their real lives are using ChatGPT and AI all over the place now. And this is the thing that's going to impact society. And I think crypto is actually leaning into this much more than the rest of society. Like, yes, people are using ChatGPT to help them write reports and stuff like that. But how these GPTs and how these agents interact with each other, I think we're at the cutting edge, man. We're really leaning into this, how these things are going to mix and play and move around with each other. That's my gut feeling. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I've missed it, but that's my feeling, just to kind of everybody keep your eye on over the next 6 months, how this is going to evolve. I think it's going to be a rocket ship of innovation and people trying stuff out. So pay attention to that in the coming 6 months.
Yep. And I wanted to show this before we end the show, but you were speaking about the Litecoin X account, which the whoever's behind this, the intern, has been killing it. He said he may be a dog, but Dogecoin has a strong grip. And obviously, I'm not looking at that middle grip, but I look at this grip on his left hand, which is a Bell's down there. So it seems like this is the crew right here that hangs out, and I'm missing. I'm missing. I don't see a little Clover anywhere around there, but I see the three amigos there.
Those three
don't
amigos,
see no lucky for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with just Litecoin, it's just good people in the Litecoin community. Yeah. I mean, I met with those guys really for the first time in Bitcoin Nashville. These are crypto native people who believe in the future of crypto, and can't help but love absolutely people involved in Litecoin. This is good people for sure.
Yep.
100%. Thanks again, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, we'll see you later.
Well, absolutely amazing. Adam is one of our favorite people in the world. He's probably the guest we've had on the most at this point. I mean, this is 5 times with Bell's Corner now. Let's say it's number 6. And then, we have him and Jake on at least 3 or 4 times already. It's been absolutely amazing as always. Adam is kind of like that bright spot in the darkness, man. He's such a good guy. And I'm glad we have him for the segment.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. He's an OG in the space. Always learn something from him as well. So excited that he's kind of been that leader in the Bells community, right? He's made a lot of things happen there, or at least got the things in motion for it to happen. So we appreciate you guys hanging out and learning. We hope that you learned something from the show. That's our goal, is to take one thing from each show and for you guys to learn something from it. But if you do have some extra time, and don't mind, we ask that you check out our partners a bit. Our first partner I'll go over is Emblem Vault. They are the interoperability layer / tool of the Bitcoin ecosystem. In my opinion, you're going to be able to jump ordinals like Puppet from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin, from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Solana, from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Ethereum, stuff like that, which is going to be very, very exciting with their lit protocol. They're also developing an AI wallet agent for Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. They've already developed the Solana version, and they have their founder vaults for their new upcoming Emblem Vault Keys rune. So you can learn more about that in our other recording we just had with Jake and Adam a couple days ago. So go check out our library and you can find out more information. But learn more about them on their website at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions market of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you guys to be able to place bets on their platform. They have a lot of Bitcoin related bets. They have sports bets, everything you can think of. If you have an Xverse wallet, you'll be able to deposit directly. It takes 6 blocks, but after that, you can start placing bets right away. And you can learn more at betbtc.win, W-I-N. And then BitPerp is your perpetual leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They are about to launch their second paper trading competition in 3 days, from December 9th through the 20th. You have a chance to win 10,000 USDT and 50,000 BTP. You just need the highest PNL. So it's really simple. Once they initiate that, you'll be able to connect your MetaMask to the testnet version of that and claim your paper trading USDT to get started. You can learn more about them at bitperp.io. Ordinal Hive is the aggregator ordinal marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to find the cheapest ordinals on Ordinal Hive. Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2 on Merlin chain as well. They also have analytics tools for traders where you can see what is trading on secondary, what is hot. Get in before it really shoots up, and then you can flip and make profits there. And you can learn more at beta.ordinalhive.io. If you don't have your address whitelisted, reach out to their Discord. They'll get you hooked up. And then Fluid Tokens is the staking platform of Bitcoin Layer 1. These guys are amazing devs that learned a ton from Cardano. They still have their platform there, building there. But they've been building in Bitcoin for the past year and year plus, I believe. But they have staking vaults. So if you're a founder of an ordinal collection or runes or fungible tokens like BRC20, reach out to Raul. Get your stake going, or your staking vault going for your holders. Allow them to earn some sort of reward you can provide for them, but they can get you hooked up with that. If you can't get through to Raul, reach out to us. We'll get you connected. And then Foxy is the metaverse of a Bitcoin. It's called the Bitverse, and they offer bit miners that you can actually mine digital assets. If you don't have a bit miner, it is a DMT asset, so you can mint that at mscribe and search for that mint. I believe it's still open with a couple left. And then also they have the first person shooter game in Clan Wars. So check those guys out as well. And then Merlin Chain is your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1, you want your protocol to be a bit more flexible, reach out to their team. They have amazing builder support. They will hook you up. And then you can also possibly qualify for a grant. A couple of our partners did that and qualified. As long as you're a serious builder, apply. Doesn't hurt to apply, right? So check them out. And then if you're a user, you can swap seamlessly on Merlin Chain for runes like Dog Go to the Moon or the Bitmap token rune. So we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. And if you guys have a few more seconds, wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, especially for the Magic Eden one in a couple of days, you definitely want to use Nord. Nord, you can put it to anywhere you want. You can do El Salvador, or you can do Amsterdam, or anywhere in the world. You can use Nord to have their VPN. It is not your government that is stopping you from these websites. It is the websites. Do not let them stop you. You cannot stop the unstoppable. So make sure you guys are using a VPN, and you don't want them having your IP address. If they have your IP address, they get your real address. It's not something you want to let anyone know, especially being in Bitcoin. Use a VPN constantly, and don't pay full price. Use our 70% off coupon. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we have tickets here. Do not wait till next year to get your tickets. They get really expensive. Get them as soon as possible. And use our link. It helps the show. If you guys are in for some merch, we know Michael Bennett, one of our guys, he got some merch. He put it in the chat earlier. Really appreciate him. But we do not get your name. We do not get your address. We do not get none of that stuff, guys. This is all done through our third party. We just supply the amazing logos. So if you guys want to get a hoodie like Mike did, like he said, he got this Dog Go to the Moon hoodie, just come here. We got so many absolutely amazing hoodies. Click the number 2, and we can probably find the one that my guy Mike got. And it's not here, but it's probably somewhere. But if you're looking for something specific, you can kind of go to our search thing right here and then type in dog and hit enter. And that'll take you to the Dog Go to the Moon stuff. So we do have Dog Go to the Moon hoodies, shirts, and stuff like that. So guys, definitely check out everything you need at ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.